Good morning, students. Today I will teach class 9th, chapter 9, that is force and laws of motion. As we all know, a force is pull or push. So push or pull is called force. So a force is a that enables us to do any work. So to do anything, we have to pull or push that object. So simply we can say that we have to apply the force on an object by pulling and pushing. For example, if we want to open the door, either we push or pull it. A drawer is pulled to open and pushed to close. So that's why a force is called a push or pull. There are many effects of force. For example, number one, a force can make a stationary body in object. Means if a body is at rest, if we apply a force on a body, it will come in motion. For example, a football can be said to move by kicking. So a kicking is a applying force. Number 2. A force can stop a moving body. What does it mean? If a body moves with a speed, if we apply a brake is force. So that body come to rest. By applying brakes, a running cycle or running vehicle can be stopped. Number 3. Force can change the direction of moving object. For example, by applying force, we can change the direction of any moving object, such as by moving handle, the direction of running bicycle can be changed, or simply by moving steering, the direction of running vehicle is changed. Number 4. Force can change the speed of a moving body. So by accelerating, the speed of running vehicle can be increased, or by applying brakes it can be decreased. Next, a force can change the shape and size of the object. So, for example, if we crushed a piece of paper, crush a tin can, so by applying a force, we can change its shape and size. By hammering the metal, we can turn it into thin sheets. By hammering, a stone can be broken into pieces. So we can say that a force is a push or pull which can be used to change a body at rest into motion, or can stop a moving body, or can change the direction of the moving object, or can change the speed of a moving object, or can change shape and size of an object. So forces are mainly of two types. Number 1, balanced force. Number 2, unbalanced force. So number 1 is balanced force. If the resultant of applied force is equal to 0, it is called balanced force. What does it mean? I will explain with example. If we pushes a wall with a full force, then the movement of the ball does not take place, which means the equal force is applied from the opposite direction. So net content or the net resultant force is to be 0. So which means it is the balance force. So here is example. In tug of war, if both the team apply similar magnitude of force in opposite direction, so rope does not move in either side. This means because of balance force in which resultant of applied force becomes 0. Balance force does not cause any change of state of object. So here the balance force are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So if the direction is opposite, magnitude is same, then we can say that it is a balance force. So balance force can change the shape and size of the object, but the movement doesn't take place. So when the force are applied from both sides of a balloon, the size and shape of balloon is changed. This is an example to show how balance force change the shape and size. So number 2 is unbalanced force. So it is just opposite to the balanced force. If the resultant force are greater than 0, the forces are called unbalanced. So an object in rest can move because of applying unbalanced forces. So here it is the unbalanced forces. So unbalanced forces can do the following things, that is effects of force. Move a stationary object, increase the speed of moving object, decrease the speed of moving object, stop the moving object, and change the shape and size of an object. So next topic is laws of motion. So the Galileo Galilei, the first of all, said that the object move with the constant speed when no forces act on them, which means if the object is moved with some speed, if we doesn't apply any force to it, then it moves with the same speed. So this means if an object is moving on frictionless path, which means no other force is acting on it, then the object would be moving forever. That is, there is no unbalanced force working on object. But practically it is not possible, because to attain the condition of zero, unbalanced force is impossible. So there is force of friction, force of air, and many other forces always acting on object. So what the Galileo said? The Galileo said if the object has no force applied on them, then it is always move in the constant speed. So, laws of motion contain the three laws of motions: the Newton first law of motion, Newton second law of motion, and Newton third law of motion. In today's lecture, we will study about the Newton's law of motion, that is Newton's first law of motion, which is also called the law of inertia. So, Newton's law of motion. So, the three laws are consecutively or collectively called Newton's law of motion. So Newton's first law of motion or law of inertia: any object remain in state of rest or in uniform motion along a straight line until is compelled to change the state of applying external force. What does it mean? An object always tend to remain its original position unless or until a force is applied on it. So, for example, if an object is state of rest, it will remain at rest until the external force is applied to change its state. Similarly, if the object is in motion, it remain in motion until the external force is applied on it. So, here we can simply say that all objects resist to change their states. The state of object can only be changed by applying the external force. So every object of the universe remain its position or state unless any force is applied on it. So there are a lot of examples we can see in our daily life. So Newton's first law of motion in everyday life. So a person standing in bus falls backward when bus starts moving suddenly. So it is a everyday example we had seen. A person in a bus falls backward when bus starts moving suddenly in forward direction. So why it is happen? It is happen because person and bus both are in rest. While bus is not moving, but as the bus starts moving, the legs of the person starts moving with the bus, but the upper body part remain in rest position. So it wants to remain in rest. So because of this, the person falls backward if he or she is not alert. So next is a person standing in moving bus falls forward if driver applies brake suddenly. So it is just vice versa of that. Because when bus is moving, the person standing in it is also in motion. along with the bus, but when driver applies the brake, the speed of the bus suddenly decreases. Bus come in state of rest suddenly. In this condition, the legs of person which are in contact with the bus come in rest, but the upper body part remain in motion. So person falls forward if he or she is not alert. So next example is, before hanging the wet cloths over laundry line, usually many jerks are given to the cloth then dried quickly. So because of jerks, droplets of water from the pores of cloth fall on the ground and reduce amount of water in clothes and dries them quickly. So why we give jerks to the clothes for drying it? This happens because suddenly clothes are made in motion by giving jerks. So water droplets in it have tendency to remain in rest. So they are separated from clothes and fall on the ground because the particles of the clothes are remain in rest. Next, when the pile of coin on the carom board is hit by a striker, coin only at the bottom moves away, leaving the rest of the pile of the coin at the same place. So why it is happen? So this is also due to law of inertia. This happens because when the pile is struck with the striker, the coin at the bottom comes in motion, while the rest of the coin has tendency to remain in rest. So they fall vertically on the carom board and remain at the same place. So is this type of questions you can see in your textbook also. So lot of questions they are directly connect with the law of inertia. That is, a body remain at state of rest or in motion unless the external force is applied on it. Next is mass and inertia. The property of an object because of which it resists to get disturbed its state is called inertia. So inertia is a body want to remain at the position and does not want to change its position. This is inertia. So it is measured by its mass. So it is directly proportional to the mass. This means inertia increases with increase in mass and decreases with decrease in mass. So the heavy object will have more inertia than lighter one. So natural tendency of an object that resists the change in state of motion or rest of the object is called inertia. Since the heavy object has more inertia, so it is difficult to push or pull a heavy box over the ground than the lighter. So here we had studied about mass and inertia. So try to find out the difference between mass and inertia. So mass unit is kg, but unit of inertia has no units. So there are lot of differences that is between mass and inertia, as inertia is measured in terms of mass. So it is directly related to the mass. So in next lecture we will study about the next topics, that is momentum and the Newton's second law, Newton's third law. So I will attach the PDF along with this video. You can revise the chapter and prepare for your exams. Thank you.